I'll give you a statement. As I said, you need to reframe that statement in all categories of all the tenses. Clear? Fine. The statement is, I have my breakfast. I have my breakfast. Now tell me this first. Is this sentence grammatically correct? I have my breakfast. If I remember, I gave this sentence in my very first session. I have my breakfast. Now this sentence is grammatically correct and it makes sense. The only thing is that we don't use it, right? Now we don't want a reason like a sentence sounds correct or a sentence sounds incorrect. We don't want that reason, because a sentence that sounds correct may be incorrect. A sentence that sounds incorrect may be correct. So always go by the concepts. Clear? I have my breakfast. Now we always say I had my breakfast, right? If I say I had my breakfast, what does it mean? I ate my breakfast. I completed my breakfast. So if I had my breakfast means I ate my breakfast. I have my breakfast means I eat my breakfast. You have your breakfast. You eat your breakfast. So I have my breakfast means I eat my breakfast. So even though this sentence sounds incorrect, it is grammatically correct and it makes sense. Clear? I have my breakfast. Now tell me, what is the tense and category? What is the tense and category of this sentence? I have my breakfast. Tense and category. Here, in this sentence, have is a main verb or auxiliary verb? I gave you the rule in detail. How to find out? I just said sometime back as well. How to know whether has, have and had in a sentence are auxiliary verbs or main verbs. Clear? In this sentence, have is a main verb, because we don't have any main verb after have. Clear? Main verb is an action. Any action can be termed as a main verb. Now in this sentence, we don't have any main verb after have, so have is termed as a main verb. Clear? Right. Now, as we discussed, all main verbs have three forms. And the three forms are V1, V2, V3. These are the three forms of every main verb. V1 is the present form, V2 is the past form, and V3 is the past participle form. So these are the forms of every main verb. Now in this sentence, have is a main verb, because we don't have any main verb after have. Clear? So have is a main verb. So have needs to have three forms, V1, V2 and V3. Have is V1, right? What is the V2 of have? Had. V3 is also had. So it is have, had, had. Clear? Have is a main verb here. Now write down the order of this sentence. Now tell me this first. This sentence is in the present tense or past tense or future tense? Present, past or future? It is anyways not in the future tense, because will or shall is not there. So this sentence is not in the future tense. Now we'll look at only two tenses, present and past. Present or past? Have comes only in the present tense. Have comes only in the present tense, so it should be one of the categories of present tense. Either simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous, right? Is there any ing out here? There's no ing here. So it can never be present continuous or present perfect continuous, right? Now we have only two categories left, simple present and present perfect. What is the rule of present perfect? Subject plus has or have plus V3. Subject plus has or have plus V3. I told you in perfect tenses, only V3 comes and V3 must come. Clear? Is there any V3 out here in this sentence? There's no V3 here. So it cannot be present perfect also. Now there is only one category left, that is simple present. So this sentence is in the simple present tense. Clear? Have is a main verb here. Just write down the order of this sentence. I is the subject plus have is a main verb. Have is V1 or V2 or V3. Have is V1. So this sentence is in the order subject plus V1. And subject plus V1 is the rule of which category? Simple present tense. So I can say this sentence is in the simple present tense. Clear? Right. Now do one thing. you just try writing this sentence in all categories of present tense, all categories of past tense, all categories of future tense. This sentence is in the simple present tense. Write it in present continuous, present perfect continuous. Similarly, all categories of past tense, all categories of future tense. Now you will come across sentences you cannot agree to while writing. I'm saying you will come across sentences that you cannot agree to, but don't think of all those. Just go by the structures, because as I said, a sentence that sounds correct may be incorrect, a sentence that sounds incorrect may be correct. Clear? So this is present. This is in the simple present tense. You may write it in present continuous, present perfect. You may start writing, in fact. We'll discuss it together. Present perfect, present perfect continuous, simple past, past continuous, past perfect, past perfect continuous, simple future, future continuous, future perfect, future perfect continuous. Clear? So I have my breakfast is simple present tense, right? Fine. What will this sentence be in present continuous tense? What is the rule of present continuous tense? Present continuous tense structure is subject plus is or are or am plus V1 plus ing. So this is the rule of present continuous tense. Subject plus is or are or am plus V1 plus ing. Clear? Fine. Now, what is the subject here? I is the subject. Fine. I is or I are or I am. I am. Plus V1 plus ing. What is the verb here? Have. What is ing of have? Having. So subject is I am. V1 plus ing is having. I am having my breakfast. So this sentence in present continuous tense becomes I am having my breakfast. Clear? Right. Now come to present perfect. The rule of present perfect tense is subject plus has or have plus V3. This is the rule of present perfect tense. Clear? Fine. What is subject there? I is the subject. I has or I have? I have. So subject plus have plus V3. I told you in perfect tenses only V3 comes and V3 must come. What is a verb in this sentence? Have. What is the V3 of have? Had. So it should be I have had my breakfast. I have had my breakfast. Sounds absolutely incorrect, but it's absolutely correct. Clear? Present perfect tense, I repeat, the rule is subject plus has or have plus V3. The subject in this sentence is I. We'll never say I has. So it should be I have. Plus V3. The verb in this sentence is have. And the V3 of have is had. So it should be I have had my breakfast. So this is present perfect tense. Hope it's clear, right? Now the last category in present tense, present perfect continuous. What is the rule of present perfect continuous? Subject plus has or have plus been plus V1 plus ing. Subject plus has or have plus been plus V1 plus ing is the rule of present perfect continuous. Clear? Fine. Come to this. The subject here is I. Clear? I has is wrong. It should be I have. Fine. Plus been. Plus V1 plus ing. What is the verb here? Have. What's the ing of have? Having. So it should be I have been having my breakfast. I have been having my breakfast. Subject plus has or have plus been plus V1 plus ing. I have been having my breakfast. Got it? Fine. Now come to past tense. First category, simple past. What is the rule of simple past tense? Simple past tense is subject plus V2. This is a structure of simple past tense. Clear? Subject plus V2. Subject here is I plus V2. What is the verb here? Have is the verb here. What is the V2 of have? Had. So it should be I had my breakfast. I had my breakfast. Subject plus V2. I is the subject. V2. Have is the verb here. And the V2 of have is had. So it becomes I had my breakfast. So this is simple past tense. Got it? Second category in past tense, past continuous tense. The rule is subject plus was or were plus V1 plus ing. Subject plus was or were plus V1 plus ing is the rule of past continuous tense. Subject is I. Fine. I was or I were. I was. Plus V1 plus ing. What is the verb here? Have. Ing of have is having. So it becomes I was having my breakfast. I was having my breakfast. Subject plus was or were plus V1 plus ing. I is a subject. With I is was. I was having my breakfast. Clear? Right. Third category, past perfect. Past perfect. The rule of past perfect tense is subject plus had plus V3. Subject plus had plus V3 is rule of past perfect tense. Clear? Fine. Subject here is I. Then had plus V3 because it's perfect tense. I tell you in perfect tenses only V3 comes and V3 must come. So subject plus had plus V3. What is the verb here? Have is a verb here. What is the V3 of have? Had. So it should be I had my breakfast. I had my breakfast. Sounds completely incorrect. But it's grammatically fine and it makes sense. Clear? I had my breakfast. You may be having a confusion with this in fact. I repeat. The rule of past perfect tense is subject plus had plus V3. The subject in the sentence is I. Then had plus V3. The verb in the sentence is have. And the V3 of have is had. So it must be subject plus had plus V3. So I had my breakfast. It's grammatically correct, even though it sounds incorrect. Clear? So that is past perfect. Hope it's clear to you. Right? Now the last category in past tense. Past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. The rule of past perfect continuous is subject plus has or have plus been plus V1 plus ing. Subject plus has or have plus sorry it's past perfect continuous. Yeah. Subject plus had plus is past tense. Subject plus had plus been plus V1 plus ing is a rule of past perfect continuous. Clear? Fine. Subject here is I. Then had been plus V1 plus ing. The verb here is have and the ing form of have is having. So I had been having my breakfast. I had been having my breakfast. Subject plus had plus been plus V1 plus ing. I had been having my breakfast. So this is a rule of past perfect continuous. Got it? Fine. Now future tense. I'll rub this part. Future tense. First category, simple future. Simple future. The rule of simple future tense is subject plus will or shall plus V1. V1 is the present form. And as I told you, if you remember, in future tense, the verb will always be plural. We can never find a singular verb in future tense. In future tense, the verb will always be plural. No matter whether the subject is singular or plural, in future tense, the verb will be plural. Clear? So subject plus will or shall plus V1. That is the rule. The subject here is I. Then will plus V1. V1 is have itself. So it should be I will have my breakfast. I will have my breakfast. Subject plus will or shall plus V1. V1 is have itself. Clear? Right. Come to the second category in future tense. Future continuous. Future continuous. The structure is subject plus will or shall plus be plus V1 plus ing. I explained the structures in detail in the very first session of tenses. Yesterday's session. Subject plus will or shall plus be plus V1 plus ing. Subject is I. Right? Then will. Then be plus V1 plus ing. Have is a verb there. Ing of have is having. So I will be having my breakfast. I will be having my breakfast. Clear? Right. Now, future perfect. Future perfect. The structure is subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3. V3 because it's perfect tenses. Clear? Subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3. You may be having a doubt with this as well. Future perfect. The thing is, as I said, while speaking or while writing, we don't make use of future perfect or future perfect continuous. So they may seem to be incorrect, but they are correct. Clear? Fine. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3. Subject is I. Then will. Then have plus V3. Verb here is have. And the V3 of have is had. So I will have V3 had my breakfast. I will have had my breakfast. I repeat. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3 is a rule of future perfect tense. Subject is I. Then will. Then have plus V3. Verb is have. V3 of have is had. So it should be I will have had my breakfast. Clear? We don't use it. That's why it sounds incorrect. Yeah? But it's grammatically fine. I will have had my breakfast. Got it? Fine. Now only one more category left. Future perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous. The rule of future perfect continuous is subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing is a rule of future perfect continuous tense. Clear? Fine. Now come to the sentence. The subject is I. I is the subject. Then will. Then have. Then been. Plus V1 plus ing. Ing of have is having. So I will have been having my breakfast. I will have been having my breakfast. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing. I is the subject there. Then will, have, been, ing is having. So I will have been having my breakfast. Got it? So that's this first sentence. I have my breakfast was a simple present tense. and we have gone for that sentence in all categories of all the tenses. Clear? So always go by the structures. And as I said, we don't want to reason like an option sounds correct, an option sounds incorrect. Clear? Always go by the concepts. Got it? Fine? I hope it's fine for you. Right? I'll drop this part. Now, something on pronouns. Pronouns. Now, sometimes the error in a sentence may be with pronouns, right? The error may be with pronouns sometimes, right? Now, pronouns, you know what a pronoun is. Any word that is used instead of a noun or in the place of a noun is termed as a pronoun. It means any word that substitutes a noun is termed as a pronoun. Clear? Now, pronouns can be divided into many categories. There's no need for us to focus on all the categories. We're going to focus only on what is required for our test. Clear? So as far as the test is concerned, pronouns can be divided into three main categories. And the three main categories into which pronouns can be divided are: one is subjective. One is subjective. Subjective pronouns. I'll tell you what it is. Second one is objective. Objective pronouns. And the third one is possessive. Possessive. So these are the three main categories into which pronouns can be divided: subjective, objective, and possessive. Clear? Right. Now, I told you what is active voice and what is passive voice. We discussed it. Active voice means the order will be subject, verb, object. Passive voices, order will be object, verb, subject. Clear? Right. I read the same sentence that I wrote earlier. He throws the ball. He throws the ball. He is the subject, comes first. Throws is the verb, comes second. Ball is the object, comes third. So this sentence is in the order subject, verb, object. Clear? Passive voice will be: the ball is thrown by him. The ball is thrown by him. The ball is the object, comes first. Is thrown is the verb, comes second. Him is the subject, comes third. So this sentence is in the order object, verb, subject. So this sentence is in the passive voice. Right? Anyways, you know that much. Clear? Now, a sentence in the active voice. A sentence in the active voice. That means the order will be subject, verb, object. A sentence in the active voice is termed as a sentence in the subjective case. Subjective case. A sentence in the active voice. Order will be this. A sentence in the active voice is termed as a sentence in the subjective case. That means the subject comes at the beginning of the sentence. Clear? A sentence in the active voice is termed as a sentence in the subjective case. That means the subject comes at the beginning of the sentence. You know, active voice, subject comes at the beginning. Clear? Fine. A sentence in the passive voice. Order will be object, verb, subject. A sentence in the passive voice is termed as a sentence in the objective case. A sentence in the passive voice is termed as a sentence in the objective case. That means the object comes at the beginning of the sentence. Clear? A sentence in the active voice is termed as a sentence in the subjective case. That means the subject comes at the beginning of the sentence. Whereas a sentence in the passive voice is termed as a sentence in the objective case. That means the object comes at the beginning of the sentence. Clear? Right. Now, I repeat for you, just before dealing with this concept. Subject is the doer of an action. Object is the receiver of an action. Clear? Right. Come to the first one now. Subjective pronouns. Subjective pronouns are pronouns that come in the active voice. Subjective pronouns are those that come in the active voice. That means order will be subject, verb, object. So subjective pronouns are those that come in the active voice, acting as the doer. Doer means the subject. So subjective pronouns are those that come in the active voice, acting as a doer. Now, in a sentence, in fact, we are not concerned about receivers. We are concerned about doers. Clear? So subjective pronouns are those that come in the active voice, acting as a doer. Right? Come to the same sentence. He throws the ball. This sentence is in the active voice, because the order is subject, verb, object, active voice. What is the pronoun in this sentence? The pronoun in this sentence is he, right? He is acting as a doer or receiver here. He is acting as a subject here. And subject means what? The doer. So this sentence is in the active voice. He is a pronoun in this sentence, and he is acting as a doer here. So I can say he is subjective. Clear? This sentence is in the active voice. He is a pronoun there in this sentence, and he is acting as a doer here. So I can say he is subjective, because subjective pronouns are those that come in the active voice, acting as a doer. Got it? Fine. Now come to objective pronouns. Objective pronouns are those that come in the passive voice. Objective pronouns are those that come in the passive voice. That means the order will be object, verb, subject. So objective pronouns are those that come in the passive voice, acting as the doer. Doer means the subject. So objective pronouns come in the passive voice, acting as a doer, whereas subjective pronouns come in the active voice, acting as a doer. Clear? Fine. Come to this sentence now. The ball is thrown by him. Right? This sentence is in the passive voice, because the order is object, verb, subject. Clear? What is the pronoun in this sentence? The pronoun in this sentence is him. Right? The pronoun him is acting as the doer or receiver here. Him is acting as a subject here. Subject means the doer. Clear? So this sentence is in the passive voice. Him is the pronoun in this sentence. Him is acting as the doer. So I can say him is objective. Because objective pronouns are those that come in the passive voice, acting as a doer. Hope it's clear. I repeat, subjective pronouns come in the active voice, acting as a doer, whereas objective pronouns come in the passive voice, acting as a doer. We are not concerned about receivers. Fine? Right. Now come to this one. Possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns. If I say, what am I possessive? Something that belongs to someone, something that someone possesses, etc. If I say, this is my marker. If I say this is my marker, that means I possess this marker. Or this marker belongs to me. That is termed as possessive case. Something that belongs to someone or something that someone possesses. Clear? If I write two sentences like, this is dash book. This book is dash. This is dash book, this book is dash. Now if I say this is dash book or this book is dash, both the sentences show possessive case. That means the book belongs to someone. Someone possesses the book. Clear? So both the sentences show possessive case. The book belongs to someone. This is dash book, this book is dash. Depending on he, this is dash book. Depending on he. This is his book. This book is dash. Should I say this book is he? I should not say. If I say this book is he, that means he is a book. Right? I'm not saying that he is a book. I'm saying the book belongs to that particular person. Right? So this is his book. This book is his. Clear? So he is subjective, him is subjective, his is possessive. Got it? Fine. Now, I replace a sentence like he throws the ball. I replace he with she. She throws the ball. So she is a pronoun coming in the active voice, acting as a doer. So I can say she is subjective. She comes in the active voice, acting as a doer. So she is subjective. She throws the ball. The ball is thrown by her. So her is a pronoun that comes in the passive voice, acting as a doer. So I can say her is objective. So she comes in the active voice, acting as a doer. So she is subjective. Her comes in the passive voice, acting as a doer. So her is objective. Clear? This is dash book. This is dash book. Her book or hers book? This is her book. I'll tell you the difference in fact. This is her book. This book is hers. H-E-R''S. Correct? That is wrong. It should be S-E-R-S. No apostrophe must be used. I'll tell you why. If I say this book is Ram's, R-A-M-S. Correct? No. Here we require an apostrophe. It should be R-A-M''S. Because the rule is this: when possessive case is shown using a pronoun, her is a pronoun. When possessive case is shown using a pronoun, apostrophe should not be used. That is the rule. When possessive case is shown using a pronoun, apostrophe should not be used. Whereas, if possessive case is shown using a noun, Ram is a noun, not a pronoun. Ram is a noun. If possessive case is shown using a noun, then apostrophe must be used. That is the rule. So if possessive case is shown using a pronoun, apostrophe should not be used. Whereas if possessive case is shown using a noun, apostrophe should be used. Clear? Now when you end a letter, you write yours lovingly, yours sincerely, yours faithfully, etc. Should you write Y-O-U-R''S? That is wrong. It should be Y-O-U-R-S. Because your is a pronoun. And as I told you, we are showing possessive case with the pronoun. So no apostrophe must be used. Clear? You may take down that rule. If possessive case is shown using a pronoun, apostrophe should not be used. If possessive case is shown using a pronoun, apostrophe should not be used. Whereas, if it is shown using a noun, then apostrophe must be used. That is the rule. If possessive case is shown using a pronoun, apostrophe should not be used. Whereas, if it is shown using a noun, apostrophe should be used. That is the rule. So this is her book, this book is hers. So I can say her and hers, no apostrophe. Her and hers are possessive forms. Clear? Now, we threw the ball. We threw the ball. So we is a pronoun that comes in the active voice, acting as a doer. So we is subjective. We threw the ball. The ball is thrown by us. So we is subjective, whereas us is objective. We threw the ball is thrown by us. It means us comes in the passive voice, acting as a doer. So we is subjective and us is objective. Got it? Fine. This is dash book, depending on we. This is dash book. This is our book. This book is ours. O-U-R-S, no apostrophe. So our and ours are possessive forms. Our and ours are possessive forms. I'll tell you the difference between these two, in fact. I'll leave it there. Now, they throw the ball. They throw the ball. The ball is thrown by them. So they is subjective, whereas them is objective. Sorry. They is subjective and them is objective. This is dash book. This is their book. This book is theirs. No apostrophe. Theirs. So their and theirs are possessive forms. This is their book. This book is theirs. Sorry. Right? You throw the ball. You is singular or plural? You is both singular as well as plural. If there's only one student in a class, I'll say you. If there are many also, I'll just say you. Right? So you is both singular as well as plural. You throw the ball. The ball is thrown by? The ball is thrown by you itself. That means you comes in the active voice as well as in the passive voice acting as the doer. You comes in the active voice as well as in the passive voice acting as a doer. That means the pronoun you is both subjective as well as objective. Clear? So based on the rules, you must be able to identify whether the pronoun you in a sentence is subjective or objective. Clear? Fine. I'll tell you how to identify in fact. Right? So you is both subjective as well as objective. This is dash book. This is your book. This book is dash. This book is yours. No apostrophe. So Y-O-U-R-S. So your and yours are possessive forms. Your and yours are possessive forms. Right? It throws the ball. Now when we go to park and all, sometimes there will be a machine that throws the ball. Like a bowling machine. Right? We play cricket out there. Right? So machine throws the ball. It throws the ball. The ball is thrown by it itself. So it is also both subjective as well as objective. So based on the sentence, identify. Based on the rules, identify whether the pronoun it in a sentence is subjective or objective. Clear? If I say a chair, the legs of the chair and the legs of the chair. These are dash legs. Give me a pronoun for instead of chair. These are dash legs. These are its legs. Should I say it apostrophe s legs? Is this correct? These are its legs. It apostrophe s legs is correct or not? This is wrong. It apostrophe s means it is. It apostrophe s is it is. Should I say these are its legs? No. I'm saying that the legs belong to the chair. That means I'm showing possessive case using a pronoun. So apostrophe should not be used. So it should be its. These are its legs. Because I'm showing possessive case using a pronoun. It is a pronoun. So as the rule says, apostrophe should not be used when we show possessive case using a pronoun. So these are its legs. These legs are dash. These legs are its. These are its legs. These legs are its. So it is both subjective as well as objective, whereas its is possessive. Got it? Now come to this one. When to use s with the possessive pronoun and when not to use s. I'm not talking about apostrophe s, right? When to use s with the possessive pronoun and when not to use s. Clear? I'll take the same sentences. Come to the same two sentences. This is dash book. This book is dash. So as I said, both the sentences show possessive case. That means the book belongs to someone. This is dash book, this book is dash. That means these two blanks must be filled with a possessive pronoun. These two blanks must be filled with a possessive pronoun. Clear? Come to the first one. This is dash book. The possessive pronoun must come here. right? Do we have a noun after the possessive pronoun? This is dash book. Do we have a noun after the possessive pronoun? Yes, book is a noun, right? If there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, then no s with the pronoun. If there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, then no s with the pronoun. So it should be, this is her book, your book, our book, their book. Clear? Come to the second one. This book is dash. The possessive pronoun must come here, right? Do we have a noun after the possessive pronoun? No. In the second sentence, there is no noun after the possessive pronoun. If there is no noun after the possessive pronoun, then s with the pronoun. Clear? If there is no noun after the possessive pronoun, then s with the pronoun. So it should be, this book is hers, yours, ours, theirs. Clear? Except his and its, because they remain the same. This is his book, this book is his. These are its legs, these legs are its. So they remain the same. So exceptions are there for his and its. Clear? I repeat the rule, you may take down. If there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, then no s with the pronoun. Clear? If there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, then no s with the pronoun. If there is no noun after the possessive pronoun, then s with the pronoun. Right? So if there is a noun after the possessive pronoun, no s with the pronoun. If there is no noun after the possessive pronoun, then s with the pronoun. This is as to when to use s with the possessive pronouns and when not to use s. Fine? We'll take a 5-minute break, then we'll be back.